Hi, I'm Rain.
And this is Ravenwind, and you're listening to the Feather and Bone podcast. Two witches talking about everything witchy, and mostly nothing at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get on a roll.
Yeah.
We really, really do. We make no promises on how this podcast is going to turn out.
We're tired.
We decided we're going to try something different and record a bunch of podcasts all in one day. Now, you guys are still getting them one a week. Like,
yeah,
we're not going to go crazy. You know, you're still receiving them one a week, but we're going to start trying to do this and have 3 or 4 ready to go and record all in one day.
Yeah, because school's about to be out.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to have as much alone time.
Yeah, well, and then I'm going to be switching careers.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to look.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going to end up working or anything like that. So we decided we needed to be a little proactive.
Yeah.
And get that done. So if we're a little bit quiet or a little bit crazy during this one, there's a reason for that.
Because I've been up since like 5:30.
I woke up at 6.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a nap today.
Sounds like a plan.
Nappy nap.
So for this podcast, we're going to be talking about the forms and tools of divination.
Ooh.
There's a few source websites that I used for this one. Not as many as some of my other podcasts, but learnreligions.com, mysticfiles.com. You're probably going to want to check this one out. www.paranormal-encyclopedia.com.
Ooh.
They have a lot of information, like a fuck shit ton.
What is a fuck shit ton?
It's so big it didn't exist until I said it.
Wow.
That's how big it is. Biddytarot.com, hiplatina.com.
I'm just staring at you.
I knew there was no way I was going to be able to say hiplatina.com without laughing. HowtogetourOwnWay.com, thebonespeak.com.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Tanahoy.com.
What?
Tanahoy.com. Wicca-spirituality.com. Psychicsfortoday.com. And then I've used Wikipedia.
Sure.
So those are the websites that I use. Now, guys, I had to literally really whittle this down to just a few forms that, and there's some very very well-known popular ones, a couple not so, because there are literally tons and tons and tons.
What was it you said? A shit fuck
ton?
A
shit fuck ton of different divination forms, types, and tools out there.
Are any of them forms that I use?
Yeah.
All right.
Couple. Of course, the most well-known of the divination forms and tools, tarot and oracle cards.
Yes.
They're extremely popular. They began as a card game in medieval Europe, particularly in France. During the 18th century, these cards transitioned into a way to foretell the future to those skilled enough to know the meaning written in the cards. With tarot cards, there is a traditional structure to the deck and common meanings. Most decks are Rider-Waite, variations, and they share common themes across those different decks. The images and pictures might be completely different, but often the messages behind that card will be similar no matter what type of deck it is. The cards usually come with a small book for basic information. These pamphlets tell the methods to arrange the cards while asking questions, but will also tell you the meanings of each card. A traditional deck has 78 cards.
Is it 78?
That's what my research. I thought it was 72, but
I thought it was like 72. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Whatever you have is what you have.
What are you gonna do?
So with tarot cards, there is a common theme that runs through the cards. Oracle cards have no common theme. These decks are the ones that have gained momentum and popularity because there's no set structure for how each oracle deck is created. Anyone can create an oracle deck and assign it, to whatever purpose they want and
we should
outline.
Create our own oracle deck.
If I was artistic enough, I would.
We should.
Coaches often create their own oracle decks to use with their clients, while artists often create decks to showcase their creativity. When deciding which deck is right for you, the best thing to do is understand what exactly you want to gain from a reading. A good reading will offer you insight to reflect on whatever you need to reflect on or gain clarity with. Oracle decks are great for short-term type of questions that require you to do some inner reflection and soul searching. So the types of questions that you should ask an oracle deck would be, what should I focus on this month? I'm stuck between two choices. How do I figure out my purpose? Tarot cards are great for long-term type questions that speak to your overall, your oval. It speaks to your oval, guys. Your overall life journey. So the kind of questions you would want to ask a tarot deck would be, how should I prepare for the new year? What do I think about before quitting? What do I think about before quitting the job I hate? What the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, those are questions for tarot. Now, you and I both read tarot.
We've actually planned. We decided we're going to start keeping a list of the really stupid shit people come to us for that they should not be coming to a psychic for. And we're going to publish an Amazon book.
And I was thinking about that, and I don't know, I like the idea of self-publishing on Amazon because I've done it. I know how to do it.
I want to do it.
But I would like to be able to have like a hard copy of it that we could sell like at Beltane and festivals and stuff.
We could do that.
Yeah. So I think that maybe instead of going straight to Amazon, we should look at different.
I think we should pick Ason's brain too, and we can give him credit. Like mention him in the forward or something. And, because I'm sure he's heard some crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's been doing this so long.
Yeah. So, we're going to do a book called Shit People Ask Their Psychics.
Yeah.
And so that's our plan. And I would like to be able to have like an actual hard book that we could, not like a hardback, but I'm like a physical, tangible, paperback book that we could sell.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I actually, because I have one deck of oracle cards, and I haven't touched my oracle cards in a long time. So I can use both, because what I'm now, because they were talking about how the cards each have their individual meanings and all that. We're going to do an entire podcast on that.
Yeah.
So we won't get into too much detail, but there's also, because like I'm an intuitive reader. So the meanings of the cards don't really matter to me as much as what I'm picking up off of them.
I do both.
I've been doing both since you told me to write the meanings on the cards. Because sometimes I won't be able to pick up anything.
Sometimes I'll have people call in and ask me stuff, and I'm just not feeling anything. It's like they're dead or something. So I just have to revert to the traditional meetings in the numerology on the cards. Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing lately too. Like, because we're both working the network. It's not for fun.
No, it's for work. It's for money.
And like any other traditional job, half the time we don't really want to do it. So if I'm not picking anything up to intuitively read for them, then I will, read what I wrote on the card.
Although, ever since you picked up a second network, which happens to be one that I work for, whenever somebody asks me something completely insane or just ridiculous, I've started telling them, the psychic that reads for me would be able to answer that. You should get hold of her for this question. And then she'll be calling me 15 minutes later. Thanks. What the fuck?
Yeah. There are certain things you should share with your friends. Crazy fucking clients. That's not one of them. Okay. So the next one is runes. Now, runes, I think I even gave your daughter a set of runes for Yule one year or birthday or something.
Something.
Long ago, according to the epic sagas of the Norse people, Odin created the runes as a gift to mankind. These symbols, sacred and holy, were originally carved into stone. Over the centuries, they evolved into a collection of 16 letters, each with a metaphorical and divinatory?
Divinatory?
Yeah, meaning. Early evidence suggests that they were utilized for reasons of magic in addition to their practical writing uses. Particularly in medieval times, when victory runes were carved into swords, either in the blade or the hilt. Runes are relatively new to the uses of divination magic, though, having only been used this way since the beginning of the 20th century.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's what my research says. I'm sure there's some people out there that are really into runes and that line of pagan belief that will argue with everything I'm saying right now. I don't know anything about it. Everything that I'm reading is things that I pulled from the internet. If it's incorrect, blame the internet. Runes are printed, drawn, or engraved individually onto tiles. The runes are then drawn from a pouch, and you can either lay them out like you would like tarot cards, like into a certain spread or form, and read them, or you can toss them into the air and allow them to freely land, and then, you would read that. Most people prefer to make their own rune set as it lends to more accurate results. I like the way runes look.
They're cool to look at.
But where I'm an intuitive psychic,
mm-hmm.
I need a little more than what looks like chicken scratches.
Mm-hmm.
I just need more. And I'm horrible at memorizing things. Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So even like you think, oh, well, I could just memorize 16 symbols, and no, there's no way I'm going to do that.
Well, it goes deeper than that, because just because the symbol means one specific thing,
mm-hmm.
The meaning changes a little bit depending on who you're reading for.
Well, no, I think, and I'm pretty sure it would also change according to what else landed with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, props to anyone that can read runes. I think they're cool as fuck.
I do too.
It's just not something, hey, maybe that's how we get the offspring to finally look at the rune set, is be like, not a lot of people do it, because she loves being unique and being, different from everybody else.
Well, she's been playing with her tarot cards again the past few days.
Oh, good. Good. So the next one we're going to talk about, and I wasn't as stoked about this one until I got to the very end, and now I want to have one of these just because I don't want to necessarily use it for divination, but it would be cool as fuck to have. Reading tea leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. This is also called, now I may fuck this up, but reading tea leaves is also called tasseography or tasseomancy. Tasseo, and either graphy or mancy at the end. This divination method isn't quite as ancient as some of the other popular and well-known systems, and appears to have begun around the 17th century. The act of drinking a cup of unstrained tea, then reading symbols, shapes, or images shown in the remaining dregs, is a widely known practice of divination.
What if you get the Grimm?
We'd have to look it up. It's an omen of bad in Harry Potter.
That's what made me think of it.
But I don't know if, she's pretty accurate though. Like, she put a lot of thought into that world. Like, it's a fully formed, hashed out world. So it could be a bad thing. I don't know. Some people even like to use coffee grounds or wine sediment, for the same technique. A simple teacup and tea leaves, rather than modern bags, can provide a person a way to divine the future without any big frills or difficult techniques. I would imagine that reading tea leaves would have been an easier form of divination, like if you were trying to hide
Yeah.
Like if the Catholic priest busts into your house to search it.
Give me a tithe.
If he busts in there to search it and he finds your tarot cards or runes and stuff like that, like you're fucked. Mm-hmm. But you could like, can I give you a cup of tea? My strainer's broke. That's why there's tea leaves in the bottom, you know? So, you know, sorry, I just distracted myself.
I was picturing a priest busting into my house.
Like kicking the door open.
In his long white silky dress.
Yeah, yeah. See, I was envisioning like, kind of like in The Matrix, like that long black duster priest looking thing. That's what I was imagining my priest wearing, was like, you know, like Neo, but like Catholic Neo. I don't know. However, sometimes the images can be representative of symbols, meaning that if you read your own cup of work, meaning that if you read your own cup, a working knowledge of standard symbolism is very helpful. So, like one of the examples they provided is like if you saw something that looked like a mountain, it could mean a hindered journey. If you saw something that looked like a snake, it could be falsehood.
I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
It has absolutely nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Well, there is that portion of the podcast.
So, as you know, my husband just tried calling me.
Uh-huh.
And I texted him and said, we're recording a podcast. What's up? He says, I'm waiting to get toned out. Because he's a paramedic. I'm waiting to get toned out for a 4-wheeler wreck. The police are chasing 4 of them through town, and everyone on the 4-wheelers are naked.
Yes.
I had to tell you that.
Boone County. Boone County at its best.
Yeah. Yeah, he says they're probably strung out on meth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's why he thinks I'm so hot. Because the people that he gets to see naked are just foul.
Well, I mean, just that he gets to see in general. Because, like, there's all his buddies on the station. And then you're going to emergencies. People are never looking their best.
No.
In an emergency situation.
No.
So he comes home and he's like, hey, baby.
Yeah, I could look like absolute dog ass. And he's like, hey.
This is why I want to buy these. But I probably would never do the actual leaf reading. But they now have specialized fortune teller cups that have been that have been created that have interior images in the cup that help with divining the tea leaves. They had a picture of this cup on the website, and it was really cool. On the inside, like the outside of the cup was like a deep purpley color, and the inside was white. But there were these little tiny, very witchy looking symbols and like drawings that were done like in a dark kind of pink color. Mm-hmm. And so there was like a skull and like a snake and like all of these like really fucking cool designs on the inside. And I was like, I would just want to drink out of that, just to drink out of that. That's a fucking cool ass cup. I don't drink coffee, but I would start. Because that was like the coolest fucking cup I've ever seen in my life. The most 3 common types of these specialized cups are playing card cups, zodiac cups, and individual symbol cups. So you could have one, like a cup would have like the little like individual, like the playing cards around the inside. One would have signs of the zodiac. Mm-hmm. On the inside, and then the other one was like I was saying, like, you know, a skull, a snake, a wolf, that kind of stuff. Yeah, they were fucking cool, and I want one.
Does it come with a book?
I would assume, but I want one. The next one is another one that you do.
Oh,
the pendulum.
I love my pendulum. I use it in Reiki.
What's so funny is like, because you want to get a fancy one, and you want to find one that's all blingy and like ooh and none of like every time you're like, oh my god, that pendulum's so beautiful, you touch it and nothing happens.
I know. I always end up going back to my
plain Jane,
my favorite one.
Yeah, just
like it's the weight. It's always the weight of them. The pretty ones, they don't have the heft to them.
Yeah.
I need a good swing on that bitch.
Just a swinging.
Like, I love
I've been
using
on country.
my pendulum.
I've been on a country music kick.
Speaking of that, you should let me hold my pendulum over you to show you how fucked up your chakras are.
Okay.
Will you let me get close to you with it?
Yeah. You cut my hair fabulously today. You get a free pass. So the pendulum allows you to divine yes or no answers. The act of using a weight suspended at the end of a chain to point out simple answers on a flat mat or a piece of paper. Now, you don't use that. Like you tell your pendulum like,
show me yes, show me no, show me maybe, show me I'm not going to answer.
Yeah. And then however it reacts is what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always ask test questions to make sure I'm talking to someone that knows me. Like you normally when you talk to a pendulum, you're connecting with your own subconscious, because subconsciously
Yeah, you know what you need to know.
Because your subconscious is connected to your higher self. So you know everything. But I don't want to hear from my subconscious. I like talking to my grandparents that have passed away. So I will put that intention out there. I'll specifically say it. I don't want to talk to my subconscious. I want to talk to my grandparents. Yeah. Then I'll ask them test questions about themselves to make sure that I'm not talking to some random spirit.
Yeah.
And it works better. You don't have to, but if you keep like a little bowl or a cup of water close by, because spirits draw energy from the water, and it uses up a lot of energy for them having to move objects and stuff. And they like it when you burn incense.
Because you've seen me pick up a pendulum.
Yeah, nothing. It's dead in the water.
Nothing happens.
No.
And I wonder if that's because like when I pick up a stone, like a gemstone, I feel nothing.
I wonder. Maybe.
I wonder if that's connected.
Maybe.
In some way. Because typically, not all of them, but most pendulums, they do have some form of stone or something, hanging off the end of it.
Well, it's like my daughter, she can pick up a pendulum, it goes crazy.
Yeah.
But my husband touches one and it does the same thing as when you touch it. Just
yeah. It's like, no. Many times, the end of the chain is connected to some type of a hook or a handle to keep the person's subconscious from influencing the answer pointed by the pendant, crystal, or simple weight that's located at the opposite end. Some people use mats with their pendulum. They come in a simple form, of a circle, and then that circle will have yes, no, and maybe written around its edges. Pendulums are best with specific questions since their answers are so simple. Like, you're not going to be like, hey, tell me if I'm going to see... Well, no. You could be like, tell me where grandma's inheritance is hidden.
Yeah, you have to... Even me, as much as I use mine, I have to reword my questions quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because it'll just swing in a circle. Like, what the fuck are you asking me?
Yeah, like I literally have no way of telling you that answer.
And what makes it the hardest is, how time doesn't exist on the spiritual plane?
Yeah.
90% of the questions we ask, if you really think about it, have to do with, is this going to happen within the next year? Or
timelines.
Yeah, timelines. And they can't really understand a timeline. So it can be difficult sometimes, but
some say that before using the pendulum each time, you should purify it, dipping your weight in your choice of either salt water or wafting, the weight through smoke of burning sage all around your pendulum, are the two most preferred methods of purification. Do you purify yours?
Once in a blue moon.
Are you wafting it?
I waft it with my own essence. With my musk.
That sounds so bad. Oh, Musky McGee.
I like to purify just the area in general.
Yeah.
before I use
Yeah, you pretty much always have candles and incense going. Like,
yeah. What?
I was looking to see if you had something right now.
I got candles going.
Yeah.
There are 4 flames in this room right now.
Yeah. The 4 corners. The next one, and you were so excited last night when I said this one, the osteomancy.
Yeah.
You're like, bones!
I was thinking of those old women you see in movies tossing chicken bones and shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The use of bones for divination.
Gilo.
Gilo. Hey, what? Okay, it's the Witches of Savannah, or Witching Savannah.
Yeah.
It's a series of books. It's so good.
I think the first one's called The Line.
Yeah, The Line.
Do you need me to open my thing and look at it?
Yeah, let's tell them what the books are, because I know one's called The Void.
My favorite was Gilo.
Well, Gilo, I didn't read Gilo's own book because that was like kind of like a prequel. I didn't read it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I didn't.
That's the best one.
Is it? I'll have to read it.
Let me see. My library.
And we can tell who the author and everything is.
Let me see. It's here somewhere. Well, Gilo. It's J.D. Horn.
Okay, so J.D. Horn is
Okay.
the author, and it's the Witching Savannah series.
The first one is The Line. The second one is The Source. And then the third one is The Void.
Yeah.
And then there's Gilo.
Yeah, Gilo's like it tells, because there's Mother Gilo is one of the characters in the series, and I think she was just so loved by everyone that read the series. He was like, okay, she gets her own book.
I love Gilo.
So he wrote like a prequel, book about Mother Gilo.
I didn't like the ending to the series. It angered me.
Yeah, I had a hard time with it as well. We won't do any spoilers, but I mean, it's still a very good series.
It's a great story. You're sucked in. You can't stop listening.
Yeah, but you're kind of left at the end like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But anyway, so osteomancy is the use of bones for divination. It's been performed by cultures the world over for thousands of years. While there are a number of different methods, the purpose is typically the same: to foretell the future utilizing the messages displayed in the bones. The bones are thrown and the resultant shapes are interpreted. Under another method, the bones are shaped or marked like dice and thrown. The results are then interpreted. Some use not only bones, but in combination with shells, stones, and charms. The thought is that because energy can neither be created nor destroyed, it needs to go somewhere once the body has ceased to house it. Osteomancy uses the residuals of the parts of the body resistant to decay to connect with and symbolize the energy they once held. There was this one woman who she was showing her osteomancy set. Mm-hmm. And of course it had bones in it, but there were shells and little rocks and like little tiny trinkets and everything. And she said that she would find like a trinket that meant something to her and had a meaning to her. Mm-hmm. So she would add that to her set. Osteomancy. So whenever she would use, her bones to do divination, like if one of the little trinkets would come up, because it had, like, everyone else may look at it and be like, okay, that's just like a bead. Mm-hmm. But that bead had a meaning to her. Mm-hmm. So then she would be able to divine with it. And it was pretty neat, like what I saw. It was pretty neat. The next one is lithomancy. Or lithomancy. Yeah, lithomancy. Which is stones.
Speaking of stones, when I was trying to research for the gree bags, they said on the site I was on, they were talking about you can use stones and crystals. Uh-huh. Somebody actually commented and said, I had a kidney stone removed. The doctors let me keep it. Can I keep it in a mojo bag for magical purposes?
I'm hoping that they were a troll.
Nobody ever responded to him, so I think that the people on the site probably thought the same thing. But I don't see how you would use something that was making you sick for positive magical purposes. You know what I mean?
Hear my stomach.
Yeah.
Growling. Okay, let's try to find a way. Let's try to just to brainstorm for a second how you would use a kidney stone in a gree bag.
Like maybe you're trying to send kidney stones to someone.
Well, but okay, like because I have a lot of kidney problems.
Yeah.
What if I wanted to do a gree bag and I found some way, like maybe I symbolically wrapped the stone in something to bind it and keep it from, from bothering me. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe you do something like, to protect yourself from the stone using the stone. I don't know. I'm hoping they were just a troll. And if they were not a troll, it's kind of sad that no one was like, can we please get some more info? Like, why would you, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a gemstone. It's not, I mean, typically kidney stones are calcium, but still, like, what are you going to...
They're harmful to you, though.
I wonder if a kidney stone would be more closely related to a bone. Because it's made out of calcium.
I don't think so, because the kidney stone is forward. It's not supposed to be there. You're supposed to have your bones.
You're supposed to. Anyway. So lithomancy is the way to see the future by analyzing the way a specific set of stones or gemstones arranges themselves when dropped. It is one of the oldest forms of divination. Countless cultures throughout history have been known to use it. It is so ancient that its definite origins have been lost to time, leaving historians clueless as to how it begun, how the original technique was conducted, or
aliens,
or how it evolved into the many methods we see today. Now, this is one time where I'm going to have to disagree with your alien theory. If there are aliens that are able to come to our planet,
yes,
I'm pretty sure they're going to have some way of divining the future that's a little more high tech than I'm going to throw some rocks in the air and see where they land. This is the one. Normally, I don't argue with you on your alien.
Maybe they brought down some special alien rocks.
Okay. Or maybe they wasn't really rocks, period. They may have been like some type of...
It could have been alien kidney stones. We don't know.
It could have been like some technological thing.
Uh-huh.
And then when they were like, you know what? You humans are not really worth our time and effort. We're going to bounce. We're going to just go ahead and leave. Mm-hmm. So then the humans like, well, we really like that thing they were doing. Let's just use some rocks.
Maybe the humans had built up an entire cult around the magical alien kidney stones.
Yeah.
And when the aliens left with them, the leaders of this little cult, where they were getting everybody's money and farm animals and shit, to get to be in the cult, they're like, "Fuck, what are we gonna do?" So they grabbed their own fake ones.
Yeah.
And people kept using it.
Yeah. It's kind of like how when you go to New York, and you can buy like the fake statues of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
They were then selling like fake alien kidney stones.
Yeah.
In stalls outside the pyramids.
Yes.
They were wearing those like I Heart Egypt shirts. Anyway, there's numerous ways to perform and interpret lithomancy, but they all need specific stones for the act. Primarily, you need a set of stones all about the same size. Some practitioners use 16 stones, while others prefer 13 or 14. Each of these stones are then assigned a particular aspect of life, and it's marked accordingly. You can draw astrological symbols on each stone to mark them. I thought this was kind of interesting, so I went ahead and included it so we could talk about it.
Yes.
That they're the stones and their meanings. So if you were going to like create your own, you would need for this particular list, you would need 13 stones. That are approximately the same size, so that you can't reach blindly into the bag and pick out the one you want.
Right.
So the first one would be it would be the universe, and it represents the entirety of life on a cosmic level. Two, and I guess like if you were like you would just number, like you would put number one and you would memorize that number one is for the universe. Two is the spirit, and it embodies your inner self.
Why not just write universe on it?
Well, because you want them to be small. You're going to carry them in a bag.
You could put a U.
And there's going to be, okay. Yeah, there's nothing else on the list with the U. That will work. For spirit, I don't know what you'll do because there's some other S's. The sun symbolizes energy, life, and power. The moon signifies psychic ability, intuition, and the power of the mind. Mm-hmm. 5, Mercury, corresponds to intelligent wit and improvement of self. 6 is Venus. It's the symbol of love and happiness. 7 is Mars, and it represents courage and bravery, but also conflict. 8 is Jupiter, and it signifies finances, prosperity, wealth, and other money matters. 9 is Saturn, and it stands for health and longevity, as well as protection. You're like, she almost got through a whole list, guys. 10 is Earth, and it corresponds to family and the home. 11 is water, and it embodies healing, cleansing, and compassion.
Yes.
12 is air, and it symbolizes desires, wishes, dreams, and aspirations. Mm-hmm. And 13 is fire, and that shows passion, determination, and willpower. Yeah. There are different ways of doing a psychic reading using these stones, such as using a pre-marked board where the stones are cast. When using a marked board, the position of each stone on the board and its proximity to other stones is then interpreted accordingly. There is another method that's a lot simpler, and that's basically you put all of those stones into a drawstring bag.
Shake it.
You ask a question inside your mind, or if you have no particular question, you just relax and allow the energy to flow around you and within you. Mm-hmm. Next, you draw 3 stones from the bag, one at a time, and set them in front of you. Then, according to the meaning you have assigned to each stone, you interpret each stone and the message accordingly. So I thought that was kind of neat. Stones. Stone. And, because I was thinking, because runes are often on stones. But the problem with that is memorizing all of that goes with the runes. Now, if you're doing your own set, that was just an example of using these planets.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to do your own with your own symbols and meanings to yourself, it would be a lot easier.
Yeah. To
memorize and to do. The next one is when scrying, using either water or a mirror. The term for divination, by seeking a vision while gazing into a transparent, translucent, or otherwise reflective object, is called scrying. There are many mediums for this. Okay. Crystal balls. Balls. Sometimes we turn into Beavis and Butthead, and it's quite funny. Crystal balls, that you can also use fire to scry.
Yeah, even just a candle flame.
Yeah. Ink. You can use ink. With ink,
do tell.
You put water in a bowl.
Yeah.
And then you drop ink into it, and then you watch the pattern as that ink
does its thing.
Of course, there's mirror. The mirror scrying. Now I've seen it done a couple different ways. I've seen where it's a normal mirror, mm-hmm. That you could do your makeup in, and they light a candle behind you.
Yeah,
and then you look at the reflection of the fire. I've seen them where they're painted black, like a reflective black, and they look into it that way.
I've done that thing. I don't remember where I found it, but it said sit in a room, have the room dark, and you have a candle behind you, and just sit there and stare in a mirror, And, you try not to blink, but clearly
Yeah.
you're going to have
Well,
to.
you're going to, yeah.
But if you stare long enough, you'll see stuff. And a lot of people talk about seeing their different faces in past lives.
Yeah.
Or else seeing spirits. Some people have been scared to death and seen what they called a demon. But I've done that several times. I was an ugly bitch a couple times.
Yeah.
In past lives. Let me tell you. Like a skillet face. Fugly.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Like, it was horrible.
I'm sorry.
I bet I was single.
I bet it would be fun to drink some Damiana.
And poop.
No. And do that.
Yeah.
To be just a little loosey-goosey and
poopy.
You can also scry using smoke.
Really?
Yeah, like you would have something smoking in front of you. And
so, like, you could do incense or something.
Yeah, and watch the pattern and see what forms in the smoke.
So, basically, what this is a form of meditation.
Yeah, I'd almost say like trance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, water. You can scry using the surface of water.
Yeah.
I didn't really go into a lot of detail on scrying because I think that that's one of the easiest to understand. You're basically...
you're staring.
Yeah, and because, like, you ever been looking at something and, like, you allow yourself to not focus on what you're looking, mm-hmm. and almost like even its distance to you and everything changes mm-hmm. because your eyes aren't really focused on any particular mm-hmm. thing. That's what scrying is, and looking at what you're seeing in those depths and images and stuff like that. The next one is also cool. Numerology.
I love numerology.
The basic principles of numerology hold that numbers have a great deal of meaning, both spiritually and magically. Some numbers are more potent and powerful than others, and combinations of numbers can be developed for magical use. In addition to magical correspondences, numbers also tie into planetary significance. Each number, from 1 to 9, has a particular meaning or energy. You can use numbers relating to your birth date and your name to determine which numbers have particular relevance to you. Mm-hmm. Numerology. Because it has ICAL at the end of it. Numerology. Why can't that come out of my mouth? Jesus. I'm done. That's it. End podcast. I'm done.
What?
No.
Hell no.
She thought I was reaching to pause it. No. Numerology, divination. I'm not even going to try to. I'm just going to change it to numerology, divination. Can be used to determine your life path, your lucky numbers, and your major life challenges, and much more. Along the lines of astrology, it points out major forces that can come into your life. Your name number shows your basic characteristics, your talents, and what you want from your life. To find your name number, you use your full birth name and assign numbers to each letter in your name. A, J, and S is 1. B, K, T is 2. C, L, U is 3. D, M, V is 4. E, N, W is 5.
Hold up.
Yeah.
1, 5, 6 plus 5.
Do you want to get a piece of paper and do yours real quick?
Yes, I do.
Because I did mine.
I know what my one is by my birthday.
Yeah. You're like, I've never done my name until I did the research for this.
I didn't know you could do your name.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like mine, like you'll have to go to the website to get your number.
Uh-huh. Do you just do your first name?
I did Beverly Ellen Cutlip.
I have to do my whole name?
Yeah.
So my maiden name?
Yeah, because it says you have to do your full birth name. So yeah.
Mine's long.
You hear my stomach
You
growling?
sound like a Yeti, like when they're out hunting for him in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me finish the list and then we'll find yours. FOX is 6, GPY is 7, HQZ is 8, IR is 9. All right, so J. Oh, I can't spell your whole name out.
No, let me throw you some letters. What's J?
1.
What's A?
1.
Oh. What's E?
5.
5. What's I?
9.
9. What's N?
5.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What's F?
6.
R?
9.
What's D?
4.
W?
5.
What's L?
3.
And what's K?
2.
Dos.
So once you have the numbers, you're going to add all of the numbers up. You'll end up with either a 2 or a 3-digit number. If you end up, then you need to add those to reduce it to a single digit. You're going to keep going until you reach a single number. The only exceptions is if you end up with an 11, a 22, 33, etc. So if you had a 99, 88, anything that's a double, those are fine. Those are called master numbers and don't get reduced. So my full name is Beverly Ellen Cutlip. Mine equaled 83. So I did 8 plus 3, which is 11. So I ended up with a master number.
Am I a 1?
You would add, which would be a 10. Yeah, you'd be a 1.
I'm a 1. I'm number 1.
So by looking at the characteristics of your name number, you can see what kind of person you're likely to be. You want me to jump ahead and give you the website?
I'm going to Google it while you talk.
Well, no, there's a specific website that I used. It's psychicsfortoday.com, numerology, numbers, and meanings.
Is there a / in there?
Yeah, let me read it to you properly. Psychics, and it's the number 4, today.
Oh, God damn it.
Psychicsfortoday.com.
/4. Okay.
/ numerology.
Numerology.
Dash numbers.
Dash numbers.
Dash and.
Dash and.
Dash meanings.
Jesus Christ.
/ and that should take you there. So by looking at the characteristics of your name number, you can see what kind of person you're likely to be. Numbers that have significant impact on your life are usually calculated with your birth date. For example, my birth date, and I'm not going to read that over the podcast, but my birth date ended up being a number 6. Okay, so your birth number tells you the life path and your challenges. So for number 6, and I wrote mine down just to give an example. Number 6 people are some of the most caring and compassionate people you will ever meet. Helping others and nurturing give them the most joy in life. This person makes a profession as a teacher, counselor, therapist, doctor, nurse, social worker, or stay-at-home parent. A great fit for numbers, which all those professions are great professions for a number 6 person. The downside is that when a number 6 feels they failed to help someone, it can be very damaging to their own emotional well-being. Number 6 traits include compassionate, kind, nurturing, peaceful, helpful, supportive, and great for advice. So that number 6 came from my birth date. Like when I added all of the numbers for my birth date, I'm a 6. For my name, I was an 11. Okay. Number 11 people are one of, the number 11 is one of the special master numbers in numerology. Let me see. Okay, just like the prime number itself, people who are number 11s are highly unique. They draw energies from both the numbers 1 and 2, but with greater amplification and strength. This can be both a blessing and a curse, as sometimes 11s struggle to find balance. Number 11s are known for being very insightful, but their deep insights also make them introverted most of the time. Their spiritual depth makes them desire solitude and quiet instead of being caught up in petty drama. Professionally, number 11s absolutely need work in creative fields. Their biggest dislike is boredom and doing mindless tasks day in and day out. Number 11 traits include spiritual, inspiring, introverted, empathic, sometimes anxious, fascinating to those around them, free thinkers, and they're often psychic. So what is your name number?
I'm a 1.
You're a 1? What is a number 1 according to the site?
I don't want to read it.
Is it accurate?
I don't know. It says I'm masculine.
Are you going to read it?
Would you like for me to read it?
Yeah, read the whole thing. Don't get hung up on one word.
Let's see. I don't think mine's entirely accurate. It says people with number 1 qualities tend to be leaders because the number carries a strong masculine energy. Blah, blah, blah. In careers, number 1s are often CEOs, managers, entrepreneurs, or inventors.
Entrepreneur. You working for yourself from home. You're an entrepreneur.
Okay. Number 1s are highly driven, creative, independent, and excel in any field of their choosing. However, people with this number can also sometimes be overly demanding or critical of others.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think there's more similarities than not.
It says number 1 traits include strong, can be forceful, but also means resilient. Creative, impassioned, independent, prefer action and practical solutions, perfectionists, visionaries, popular, honest, and fair.
I would say that any differences in that have to do with the fact that you're Gemini.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to, and on that website, like these were just 2 of the different like numbers that you can look up. That website has a ton of other numbers that you can find out. And look and see. So I would really suggest you go to it. Again, that website is www.psychics4today.com/numerology-numbers-and-meanings/. So rewind the podcast, play it again, like whatever you want to do, but write that down. You made a
I've gotten 2 texts in the past 5 minutes saying there's no one logged on to take calls for readings. They're like, please help.
You're like, I'm doing a podcast, bitch. So the next one is spirit boards.
Do you want me to read my birthday number, Mimi?
Sure.
I'm a 6.
I'm a 6. I read that already.
Okay.
We're both 6s. All my 6s.
Wow.
Anyway. So the next one is spirit boards. One of the first mentions of a Ouija similar board is found in China around 1100 AD. In historical documents of the Song dynasty, the method was known as Fuji, which stood for planchette writing. The use of planchette writing as a means of necromancy and communication with the spirit world continued, and albeit under special rituals and supervisions, was a central practice among the Huaxin school until it was forbidden in the Qing dynasty. Several entire scriptures of Dao Zhang, which is the what did you say earlier? I said Taoist and Taoist canon. So the Dao Zhang, or however you say it, is basically
it's probably Dao Zing.
Dao Zing. It's DAO,
like Tao,
and then ZANG. Dao Zhang, whatever. The Taoist canon. It was like 1400 texts that had been written by the monks in an attempt to bring together all of the teachings of Taoism. But supposedly, there are entire scriptures of that are works of automatic planchette writing. According to one author, similar methods of planchette script writing have been practiced in ancient India, Greece, Rome, and medieval Europe. Even though it has these historic starts, the late 19th century and the whole of the 20th century tried to turn spirit boards into a toy to be used by children at slumber parties. However, the rise in legitimate uses of a spirit board to seek out unknown answers and prediction on the future have been taking place recently. The board itself consists of a standard alphabet and the numbers 0 through 9, with several boards including several quick phrases such as yes, no, goodbye, hello, those kind of things. A user simply has to have one of these boards and its accompanying planchette to communicate with beings of the spirit world. We've talked about this before in the podcast, the fact that like we've never been able to get a spirit board to answer to us.
No, we try. It says no.
Yeah, like because I've got you the Ouija board for your birthday.
Yeah,
but didn't you have like an angel board or some other type of? So was it an angel board?
I don't know.
You have some other type of.
It wasn't slicky enough.
Yeah, you have some other type of spirit board though. So I mean, these things have been around for a long time, and I like how they kind of said like it's a form of automatic writing.
Yeah.
Because most of the time when people think about automatic writing, that's where something other than yourself is writing through you, whether it's coming from your subconscious or it's a spirit or what have you. But I like that they kind of connected and correlated those two things. Because if you would have had presented automatic writing to me in that form, other than something writing through your hand, I would have believed it more. Yeah. So spirit boards are fun, and there's a lot of different versions of that out there. Like I think most everyone today has like the Hillsborough, like Ouija board that you could buy anywhere but Walmart because they don't sell it. I had to get yours off Amazon.
I like my Ouija board.
Yeah, your fucking brother, who I was dating at the time, it's like, yo, got you this for your birthday, and I'm looking at him like, fucker. I got that for her birthday.
I would have ever thought in a million years he bought me something for my birthday.
It's like, we're not married. Gifts are not from the both of us. I got that for her. The next one is kind of interesting, and I didn't do a lot of research on it, just because I figure I can kind of wing it. It's aeromancy.
What's that?
It's the divination through interpreting atmospheric conditions.
What?
Yeah, it's divided into several subtypes. So the first one is wind, okay, and it's called ostomancy. So you would pay attention to the wind. Mm-hmm. And, maybe if it's blowing a certain way, or you're watching how it's affecting the things that are around, then that would, or maybe it's even like, blow if it's yes, and then you feel a breeze. Like, if I feel the breeze on my left cheek, it means this. If I feel it on my right cheek, it means this. If I feel it on my butt side, I don't got any pants on, you know? I don't know. But you would watch the wind. What are you doing?
I'm moving.
Why?
Because my back.
Oh, is the chair hurting you?
It's the way I have the pillow, and I'm too lazy to move it.
Okay. The next one, I don't know if I can even say it. CER.
Yes.
AUNOSCOPY.
No clue.
Here. That one.
I don't know.
She even looked at it and she can't say it. Chronoscopy. Basically thunder and lightning. Where the other one was wind, that one's thunder and lightning. So you would pay attention to like how the lightning, like if you see images in the thunder or in the lightning, I mean, you know, so you would have to watch it. That, you know, the wind, you could do the wind pretty much any time because the wind's always blowing. Mm-hmm. But, you know, you would have to be like, oh my God, there's a thunder and lightning storm. If I have any questions for the divine and for the universe, now's my time to ask.
Yeah.
The thunder, like they would, of course, you know, like if you were able to hear things in it.
Thunder
and the lightning.
I hate that song.
I love that song. Thunder. But like if it like rumbled really long or, you know, heard different sounds in it and things like that, you know, you would interpret it. Chaomancy. CHAO Mancy. Chaomancy, whatever.
I'm just enjoying listening to you.
Try to pronounce things.
Yeah. Because what kills me is you put so much work into this.
Yeah.
And I've seen you type words into your phone to hear them pronounced.
Yeah.
Before.
For some reason, there's some disconnect between me, like phonetics for me. There's some disconnect there where I see words and my brain just won't allow me. And what's funny is in my mind, I might know what they are. And I could say it in my mind 100 times. But then when I try to verbalize it, my tongue won't do it. Like, I can't get it to come out of my mouth. It's weird. It's weird. But Chaomancy is aerial visions. That's clouds. So you would look. Why did you take a drink and go?
It's just that time of day.
Was it refreshing?
No, it's kind of old.
That's what I say. Mine's not that great. But it's aerial. It's like you would see like in the clouds. You know, you would look at them, and we all do that. Like everyone in the world.
Yeah.
Whether they're, you know, Christian, whatever, has done that. You know, looking at things in the sky. So then that would, I guess, rely very heavily on, kind of like with the tea leaves and having a set, like it said, like the mountain men struggles. Mm-hmm. Snake, you know, meant that there might be someone that's not trustworthy or something. So you would have to have a very set, meaning for things so that when you saw a cloud that was shaped like a bear, you would know what that meant, you know. I don't know what a bear would mean. And then there's meteoromancy. What?
Try not to wrinkle my eyes too much. I'm about to get some Botox.
It's meter, METERO, mancy, meteoromancy. And that's for meteors, shooting stars.
You know, you wouldn't be able to do any divination very often.
With a lot of these. Like you could with the clouds.
Yeah.
And the wind. Then the next on the list would be the thunder and the lightning.
Yeah.
But the very last would be the shooting stars and the meteors.
Yeah.
And then today, what if someone from back in the olden times got transported to today. And they're out looking at the stars to try to do their meteoromancy. And they see an airplane with its slow blinking light.
What if they were trying to do it with the clouds and they saw the chemtrails or some shit?
Oh, yeah. They'd be over there like in Nitro with the big old plumes coming up out of the stacks. And they'd be like, it's the end of the world! Jesus.
That's how we feel when we're in Nitro.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what's funny is Nitro, like any other town, has its like really nice part.
It's small, but yes, the nice part's small.
But even from the nice part, you look up and see the stacks.
Yeah.
Like there, you can't get away from the stacks in Nitro.
No.
The last one we're going to talk about, and the only reason I added this is because it has come up several times in podcasts now.
Okay.
The bibliomancy.
Yes.
Bibliomancy. I just like saying it because I can say it. Bibliomancy.
Bibliomancy.
I fucked it up.
Bliblio.
Oh, God.
You're hungry and you're tired.
I am. What is... Okay, so when you're hungry and you're angry, you're hangry.
Hangry.
What if you're hungry and tired? Are you hired?
I thought you were going to say hungry and stupid.
No. Well, there's that. Hooped? No.
Stupid?
Stupid. I don't know. So bibliomancy is the method of employing sacred books, especially specific words and verses, for magical medicine, for removing negative energies, or for divination. So the method is that a book, and usually you're going to use, like I said, some type of sacred, holy book. A book is picked that is believed to hold truth. It is balanced on its spine and allowed to fall open. A passage is picked with the eyes closed. So, like, I'm assuming you would hold it in your, like, you're not going to drop it on the floor. You hold it by the spine and allow it to naturally open. And then you close your eyes and pick a passage. Among Christians, the Bible is the most commonly used. And in Islamic cultures, it's the Quran. Because book owners frequently have favorite passages that the book opens to just naturally because they have it open to that a lot.
Right.
Some practitioners use dice or another randomizer to choose a page to be opened.
See, I'd be more down with that.
Yeah, rolling some dice, open the book.
Yeah.
Another variant requires the selection of a random book from a library before selecting the random page from that book. So, I mean, but like we were saying in that one podcast, like, what if the random book you choose from the library is like The Life and Times of Charles Manson? What are you, like...
Is there a book called The Life and Times of Charles Manson?
Google it. You asked. You shouldn't ask. You know me by now. Be like, The Life and Time of Charles Manson, and see if it's a book. But I imagine that, what you would get from that book as opposed to the Bible would be, is it a book?
That's the exact title.
No fucking way.
I swear to God.
Who's it written by?
Jeff Gwynne.
Wow.
It's on Amazon.
Wow. Coincidence? Wow. That's amazing. I wouldn't even call that psychic. That's just coincidence. The Life and Times of Charles. Okay. But I imagine what you would get from that book would be very different than the Bible, you know?
Yeah.
And then you got to think too, like, okay, the Bible holds shit for you and me.
Right.
I mean, we're not going to do anything that it talks about because it's a work of fiction to us.
Basically, the way I look at the Bible, it's kind of like, you know how when back in the day, well, I don't know about when you were little. When I was little, they still read kids like nursery rhymes and little fables to where the kids were supposed to get some kind of meaning from it. I think the Bible is kind of like that.
It's a fable that got out of hand.
Yes. And I think people are supposed to read it. I think it's a bunch of stories that's supposed to teach you a lesson. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Don't chop people's heads off.
Be good to your neighbors.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think people started taking it too.
Yeah. They were like, oh my God, this is real. Jesus is real.
Don't enslave an entire religion.
Yeah.
Build your own pyramids.
Yeah. So I don't know. But, so I guess, another thing that they talk about is, like I was saying, like, selecting a random book. But another thing, it says that you would also want to pay attention. Now, this one here, I believe this is a form of bibliomancy more than any of the ones we've talked about so far.
Okay.
That if a book has fallen from a shelf on its own and has opened to a page on its own, then I might be like, okay, let me look at this book. Let me see what message, might be hidden within these pages. That would be the only way I would put any credence toward bibliomancy. Whatsoever. So, that was the episode on tools of divination. Like I said, there's a whole bunch more. But,
you sound so stupid.
I'm feeling stupid. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling... Why? How did my car keys end up down by my crotch? Oh my God, these pockets are deep.
Oh my God! I could masturbate with your pants on.
Oh my God. Okay. I was like, how did my car keys end up in my crotch? Because my pocket is in my crotch. Anyway, people never know what they're going to hear on our podcast.
I know.
I think that's what makes people keep coming back.
I really don't know why they listen to our podcast.
Oh, Jesus. So, we're the website's featherandbone.net.
Oh.
We're still preparing for Beltane. I actually have a couple tables out in my car.
Oh, ow, my kidney.
We need to have your husband set up our canopies so that we can figure out what layout we want and if we're going to need more tables than the 3 that we have. I think that's it. Featherandbone.net is the website. There you'll find access to our lessons, our shop, and some other things. There's a link to the Facebook group. Join us on Facebook. There's a lot of funny stuff in there, and feel free to post in the group. I think that you and I, Gwendolyn and Ben, do the majority of the posting.
Jackie will post once.
Jackie will post, but feel free to, don't think I got to join and just be quiet. Participate. Put some funny shit up there.
Yeah, you can't offend us.
No. The only way, and we've had the group going for a while now, and only one person has been kicked out of the group.
Oh.
And that was because he just wouldn't stop. I'm all for a good debate.
And he wasn't even doing anything in the group. He was doing it
privately.
Privately, and we were just like, we don't need this person around. He's an idiot.
Yeah. So that's why he was booted.
Booted. I think he had something wrong with him. I think he has something mental.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't listen, because I don't want to offend anybody. At the same time, I don't want him.
Really?
I don't want him listening and being like, "Oh my God, they think I'm retarded."
I didn't say that.
Well, you were implying. No, he just, I'm all for, you believe what you want to believe, and I'm going to believe what I want to believe. Let's just agree to disagree and move on with it.
How about this? I think he has some... I think it's hard for him to socialize.
Yeah.
How's that?
That's a very PC way of saying what you're trying to say. But no, so that, it would take a lot. And even then, with him, the argument went back and forth for a long time.
Actually, he wasn't even arguing with me, really.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want to deal with this.
Well, because he made a comment about your child.
Yeah.
And you never bring someone's child in. And it wasn't even like he didn't like threaten or insult or anything, but you still don't bring someone else's child up into a discussion. Mm-mm. So, but he was done. So the group, we're so rambling right now, but participate in the group. It's not going to get you kicked out. It's not going to, anything like that. Funny stuff. If you find something that you think, like an article that you think everybody might be interested in, or we might be interested in.
Honestly, I'll post articles that I think everybody's going to be like, oh, that's deep, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No one ever likes it, but when I post the raunchy, fucked up stuff, everybody's like, yes!
You have a real problem with people not liking your posts.
I do.
You really do.
And it'll show me, this has been seen by 23 people.
Yeah.
But not a single motherfucker.
Hey, I count.
You go through and you won't like my stuff for a while, and then you'll go through and all of a sudden I have like 15 likes. Because you've just gone through and liked every single thing that I've posted.
But yeah, go check us out on Facebook. And you might even post something in there that we might want to cover in a podcast. Like if you find an article or something like that that's interesting, post it in there, tag us in it, and we'll check it out, and it might make it on the podcast. So I think that's it.
Okay.
Remember, it's magic, motherfuckers.